with weighing instruments. And in sports, the Malawi women's and men's national netball teams caught Tanzania and Kenya respectively in the ongoing Africa Netball Cup. Thank you for joining us. Now the news in detail. The Public Sector Reforms Information Management System has been launched with a call for ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, to embrace digital systems to improve public service delivery and better serve Malawians. Vice President Justice Dr. Jane Ansah met the call at the launch in Lilongwe. Details with Austin Vola.
Justice Dr. Jane Ansah says the newly launched system will strengthen transparency and provide the public with timely information on the progress of reforms being implemented by MDAs. Dr. Ansah says with the system in place, the public will be able to track reform progress using digital devices and receive services more efficiently. The first Vice President believes the system will address long-standing complaints Malawians have faced under the paper-based system.
More than 6 decades after attaining independence, we still find ourselves at the bottom of key economic and development indicators. This is a situation we must change by embracing positive transformation driven by the digitalization of our service delivery system through reforms such as the Public Sector Reforms Information Management System.
Meanwhile, the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, has commended the government for developing the Public Sector Reforms Information Management System, saying it will remove bottlenecks that ministries, departments and agencies have been facing, particularly in coordinating reports. Chika Charles Aniekwe, Deputy Resident Representative for UNDP, says the system has the potential to transform the country's public service.
In terms of transformative nature of achieving its goals, what is around information management, as the name implies, you're going to help us in terms of managing information. But secondly, a lot of data is going to be generated. So now you have an opportunity to log into the system and you have data that you're looking for. Thirdly, let me talk about reporting. You see, the system will also be able to generate reports, not just from one institution, but from different MDAs. So as citizens, so which means you'll be able to go to the platform and through the reports, you're going to see what's happening across different MDAs and different departments. So that's transformational in nature.
The system is expected to help government track reform progress required to achieve Malawi's development goals and reduce the administrative workload that has been increasing due to reliance on manual paper-based processes. It also provides a platform for the media to access up-to-date information on reforms being implemented by various MDAs. Austin Fukula, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Government says it will look into the findings and recommendations contained in the final report of the European Union Observer Mission on the September 16 general election. Vice President Justice Dr. Jane Ansah made the remarks in Lilongwe when the EU Election Observer Mission paid her a courtesy call. Justice Ansah said structural issues contained in the report require government's attention across the electoral cycle. Details in this report by Nkhani.
The EU Observer Mission to Malawi released its final report on September 16 general election, highlighting several gaps in the electoral process. The report offers 21 recommendations targeting improvements in election management, campaign funding, media independence, representation of women and persons with disabilities, and timely resolution of disputes. Vice President Justice Dr. Jane Ansah says government is taking the recommendations seriously and forms the basis for continued engagement. She said in the coming months, government will engage relevant institutions and stakeholders to consider the recommendations and identify priority areas of the reforms.
Let me assure you that the government of Malawi takes these observations seriously. We are particularly mindful of the issues relating to public media conduct, campaign finance, inclusion of women and young people, and the transparency in results management. We see this report as a basis for continued engagement rather than an endpoint. In the coming months, government will engage relevant institutions and stakeholders to consider the recommendations and identify priority areas of reform. We would welcome continued technical engagement with the European Union as we take this work forward.
The head of the EU observer mission said the identified gaps in the electoral cycle could undermine the credibility of future elections if not addressed.
And these are all about consideration to enhancement of future electoral processes. They're not orders or instructions to Malawi in any way. This is very much an acknowledgement that Malawi is a sovereign state. Malawi has signed up to international human rights agreements and to regional human rights agreements within SADC, within the African Union. So what we are saying in our report is consider the obligations that you as a state have undertaken and consider then how there might be greater enhancement of compliance with those instruments by considering our recommendations. So 21 recommendations, 6 of them have particular priority in that we think they will enhance political rights in future electoral processes.
Earlier, the Vice President met with the outgoing Japanese ambassador to Malawi, Yoichi Oya, who has concluded his 3 years tour of duty in Malawi. Dr. Ansah commended the outgoing ambassador for his outstanding contribution to fostering strong bilateral relations between Malawi and Japan. The Vice President further said Ambassador Oya has played a pivotal role in supporting Malawi's inclusive and sustainable socio-economic development. She acknowledged Japanese financial assistance to Malawi, including grants and loans towards the country's economic growth and poverty reduction efforts. Ambassador Oya expressed his deep affection for Malawi, describing it as his second home. He expressed optimism for continued collaboration between the two countries. Japan also supports Malawi's agricultural sector through technical cooperation and investment, helping to improve food security and promote economic growth. Yamikani Simtowe, MBC Lilongwe.
The Memorandum of Understanding that Malawi has signed with Namibia's judiciary marks a major step towards improving justice delivery in Malawi. The partnership between the Malawi judiciary and the judiciary of Namibia aims to strengthen cooperation between the two institutions. Chief Justice President Kamanda said the MOU will support Malawi in accelerating key judicial reforms. More details in this report compiled by Jinsisi Moyo.
The Malawi judiciary has signed a Memorandum of Understanding with the judiciary of Namibia, the first of its kind, marking a significant step towards strengthening collaboration between the two judiciaries. According to Malawi Chief Justice Rizine Msikamanda, the MOU is a blueprint for enhanced cooperation in key areas of court service delivery and the administration of justice. He further said the partnership provides an opportunity for Malawi to learn from Namibia's progress in modernizing its justice system and improving operational efficiency.
You know that we in Malawi, like in other jurisdictions, have a perennial problem of backlog of cases and also delay. The Namibians have confronted that challenge head on, and they have made a lot of strides in implementing. The success of the judiciary is, as the Chief Justice said, is not about it not having problems, but how it confronts its problems. And we have problems, and we must learn from them how we can best confront our problems. That learning will help us quite a lot advance in what we do.
Namibia's Chief Justice, Peter Chivute, said the collaboration reflects shared values and a joint commitment to strengthening the rule of law. Chivute added that both countries face similar judicial challenges and partnering will pave the way for knowledge exchange, professional development and improved judicial processes.
There are a lot of things that the Judiciary of Malawi is doing that the Namibian Judiciary would like to learn from. One of them is, for example, how do you ensure accountability? How do you ensure transparency? And how do you ensure that the judges and judicial officers are held to account for with the work that they perform?
The two judiciaries say the MOU sets a strong foundation for long-term cooperation aimed at improving access to justice for citizens in both nations. Chinsisi Moyo, MBC News, Salima.
Government plans to construct an operating theatre at Mapale Urban Health Centre, a facility currently functioning as a community hospital due to high demand. Mapale Urban Health Centre, under the Mzimba North District Health Office, serves a population of nearly 600,000 people. George Nkandawire reports.
Mapale Urban Health Centre, which is in Mzuzu City, provides a lot of services, though some are still missing at the centre. Director of Health Services from Mzimba North, Dr. Wamaka Msopole, noted that the absence of a theatre continues to compromise timely access to surgical care for residents of the city and surrounding areas. Minister of Health, Madalitso Aloyi, said government recognizes these challenges and will prioritize construction of an operating theatre at the hospital.
The population is growing so rapidly, and at the moment it is the only free government hospital that is offering free services and the maternity services, and everyone within the city comes here. So the issue of infrastructure is very critical, and we've noted that there is a lack of an operating theatre which is not there, and these are some of the gaps that we've seen that needs to improve at this place.
Meanwhile, Manaso has transitioned its Liulatu project to the Ministry of Health, which was helping the fight against HIV, TB and malaria in some selected districts. Speaking at the handover, UNAIDS Country Director for Malawi, Dr. David Chipata, called for sustained community participation even after the project phases out.
We understand that the government is in the process of developing what we call the social contracting policies that's going to help the government contract civil society to deliver the services. So we are really encouraged and happy, and we just want to say this is the way to go. Please continue with this kind of commitment.
According to Manaso representative Yoni Antonio, Reuratu project has been crucial in elevating community voices. The project has supported community groups, strengthened treatment literacy, and helped people living with HIV come together to express real issues affecting them. George Nkadawire, MBC, Mzuzu.
This is MBC News, and you are with me, Evelys Jungambi. A reminder of the top stories. Government ministries, departments and agencies challenged to embrace digital transformation. The Malawi Bureau of Standards warns traders against deliberate tampering with weighing instruments. And in sports, the Malawi women's and men's national netball teams caught Tanzania and Kenya respectively in the ongoing Africa Netball Cup. Welcome back. The Department of Civic Education has intensified efforts to educate Malawians on the concept of mindset change, which is one of the enablers of the country's blueprint, the Malawi 2063. Chief Civic Education Officer in the department, Kundwani Jitosi, was speaking at Nkhani in the area of Traditional Authority Mawilao when the department formed a committee known as the Civic Education Hub that will mainly advocate for mindset change. We have a report by Shinsomo Manda.
The Civic Education Hub Committee, also known as WALO, is a program being implemented by the Department of Civic Education across the country with the main goal of promoting mindset change. So far, 12 civic education committees have been established nationwide. These committees are advocating for mindset change and track development initiatives in their respective areas, among other responsibilities. Speaking at Nkhani in Mzimba district during the formation of another committee, Chief Civic Education Officer Kondwani Chitosi said for the country to achieve meaningful development, people must be transformed and begin thinking positively towards progress.
This program stems from the Malawi 2063 under the Mindset Change Enabler. When we were drafting the Malawi 2063 agenda, we identified as a nation that mindset change is key to achieving whatever we want to achieve. Ideally, some say the sky is the limit, but the mind is the limit. So within the Mindset Change Enabler, we have an intervention called Pabwalo platform. Just as we used to do in the old days, we would sit under a tree with chiefs and discuss our own issues, problems, and also respond to them by identifying pathways to addressing those challenges.
For smooth implementation of the program, councils are being involved in running the affairs of the initiative. Youth District Officer at Mberwa District Council, Yamigani Nyarugwe, praised the program, saying it will enable local communities to actively participate in development activities in their areas.
It's a hub, it's a platform that is going to expose what is all about in terms of development, what responsibilities duty bearers have upon the people that they are serving, and what the citizenry in general has to do as their role towards development.
The Civic Education Hub program, currently in its pilot phase, is being implemented with support from the European Union and is expected to expand across the country. Chisomomanda, MBC News, Nzuzu.
Communities in the area of Senior Chief Jalasi in Mangochi have held the formation of an area civic education hub. Speaking soon after the establishment of the hub by the Department of Civic Education, Group Village Headman Malugula said the structure will enable them to conduct crucial discussions relating to good governance and tailor-made developments. We have a report by Geoffrey Chinawa.
The traditional leader, Group Village Headman Malukula of Senior Chief Jalasi in Mangochi, observed that formation of the hub will help empower locals to have their voices heard on issues that affect them directly in areas of good governance and development.
We thank authorities for bringing us this initiative. We are very ready to witness how they will help us in developing our areas.
Adding his voice is the newly elected chairperson of the hub, Dickson Mogoya, who believes that time has come for people to embrace mindset change and develop their areas. In his remarks, Deputy Director for Civic Education in the Department of Civic Education, Lawrence Husseini, urged the people to utilize the hubs.
The Malawi 2063 agenda is actually our blueprint. It's something that will change this country. The Department of Civic Education was tasked with the mindset change enabler to change the people's mind. And that we can only do if we impart knowledge and information in our citizens. And this hub is one channel through which we'll be imparting knowledge and skills to our citizens.
Civic education hubs are structures that are being formed at council and area level to champion mindset change initiatives in communities. The department has constituted similar structures in about 14 district councils. Jeffrey Shinawa, MBC, Mangochi.
The The Malawi Bureau of Standards says deliberate tampering with weighing instruments by unscrupulous traders and the influx of smuggled imports are among the factors contributing to the rising presence of uncertified weighing instruments in the country. Director of Meteorology Services at MBS, Stephen Chalimba, said this in Lilongwe after the institution disposed of more than 730 instruments deemed unfit for trade. More in this report by Lonjezo Nsodoga.
The 730 weighing instruments that have been disposed were confiscated during routine inspections in some parts of the country. Director of Meteorology Services Department at MBS, Stephen Chalimba, said the move to destroy such scales is a way of ensuring fair trading practices between buyers and sellers and making sure weighing instruments are accurate and acceptable by the Bureau. Chalimba explained that there are several factors contributing to the presence of uncertified weighing instruments on the market, including deliberate tampering of scales and smuggled imports that do not meet legitimacy requirements.
That we are trying to abate or tackle with. We are also affected by imports of various weighing instruments that are being smuggled into the country but do not comply with the necessary requirements. That also affects what we have in terms of legitimate weighing and measuring instruments that are found on the market. Another issue is to do with tampering of weighing instruments.
MBS has confiscated over 2,000 weighing instruments across the country as part of its ongoing efforts of protecting consumers and upholding integrity in trade. Earlier this month, Malawi Bureau of Standards (MBS) also disposed more than 600 weighing instruments in Blantyre. Lonjezo Nsodoga, MBC News, Lilongwe.
National Bank of Malawi has underscored the importance of investing in the education sector if the country is to achieve meaningful development. Center Manager for the bank's top mandala, Wyson Kaira, made the statement following the bank's donation of 77 desks, other teaching and learning materials valued at 20 million kwacha to Nankumba Primary School in Blantyre. The bank has dedicated this month to giving back to the public in keeping up with the festive season.
Usually every year we do make donations. We call it 12 days of Christmas. So we make donations to several institutions depending on their need. So this year we thought we can be here at Nankumba Primary School. At the bank we believe that education is a backbone of national development. And we are hoping that the desks and the flip charts, the chalk, will help to create a conducive learning environment for the learners, but also it will help the teachers to focus on developing the kids as they learn. Actually, it's very important because as a corporate citizen, National Bank, we partner with the communities to ensure that we have a bright future as a country, and partnering an education institution like this one is to create a future that we want, a future where the citizens are well educated, but also they can contribute to the economic development of the country.
Head teacher for the school, Maxwell Piri, expressed gratitude to the bank, adding that the materials will help improve attendance as well as the pass rate. One of the pupils, Efrida Makala, says she feels motivated knowing that they will now learn in a better environment.
I'm happy just because we have received this donation from National Bank, because here we had so many problems, especially basics, charts, and even maybe chalk. So coming off the National Bank here at the primary school, it helps maybe in terms of the learners who are sitting on the floor. So this time around, the number of learners who are going to sit on the floor, they are going to be few. Here at the school, there are so many problems. For example, here we have so many learners, 2,050. So out of these learners, most of the learners they were sitting on the floor, and also some materials which we are using here. So coming off National Bank here, some of the problems have been now reduced. The number of learners who were absent, maybe the number will going to be reduced, and also pass rate will be improved now.
And now in sports, the Malawi women's and men's national netball teams will today return to the court for the last group stage matches against Tanzania and Kenya respectively in the ongoing Africa Netball Cup in Lilongwe. The men's team will face Kenya from 2 o'clock, while Queens will meet Tanzania in the last group stage matches from 6 o'clock. A win for both teams will see them through to the semi-finals of the tournament scheduled for tomorrow. Queen's coach Peace Kalua says they are fully prepared for the encounter, cautioning her girls against undermining Tanzania.
We already said the preparations have gone on well. They know that if we win, even if we draw, that means we are out. The only way to qualify for the semi-finals is for us to win against Tanzania. Tanzania is not a small team. We have seen the way they have played against Botswana. They were also going neck to neck, which means they are coming into the game. You know, with these tournaments, when you start the tournaments, it's like being a bit slower, but when you go into the games, it gets stiffer and stiffer. And we know Tanzania want to move out with the record because they are coming from where they have lost now 2 games. Their eyes are also on Malawi to make sure they make a name against Malawi. Well, we are also thinking we need to win this game so that maybe we erase what has been happening in the 2 days. So we are eager. It is a must-win game. That's what our eyes are for.
And that's it from our newsroom this afternoon. A recap of our top stories before we leave. Government ministries, departments and agencies challenged to embrace digital transformation. The Malawi Bureau of Standards warns traders against deliberate tampering with weighing instruments. And in sports, the Malawi women's and men's national netball teams caught Tanzania and Kenya respectively in the ongoing Africa Netball Cup. For more updates, visit our digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You have been with me, Evelis Jungambe. Thanks for watching and good afternoon.
What's your name? Gary, huh? It's my game.
We put everything into this. Those that can do it and succeed,
how to fix it.
This city has been just a cookbook.
It's part of being hit here.
With the latest global news and insightful documentary.
Transition.
Understanding the
But if you ask them know me. I know they blow trees, only know me.
Hello, I am Arthur Chokoto with yet another edition of Business Digest. Coming up in the next half hour, the Malawi tea sector to save at least 400 million kwacha every year after embarking on a digital payment system on wage payment. Standard Bank PLC pumps in 200 million kwacha towards the school feeding program as part of fulfilling its purpose of driving Malawi's growth. So stick around for a full package of business and economic stories. The Malawi tea sector has been spending over 400 million kwacha every year on wage payments for employees in the sector, including smallholder tea farmers. But this is now a thing of the past following the introduction of a digital payment system. The initiative, which has been launched recently, is being facilitated by an organization under UNDP called Better Than Cash Alliance. Now, speaking at the launch, Now, speaking at the launch, chairperson of the Tea Association of Malawi Limited, Tamil Sangwani Hara, said the initiative augurs well with their efforts to promote decent working conditions for employees while complementing government's digital financial inclusion drive.
In about 3 years ago, we were invited by the UN project, it's called Better Than Cash Alliance, to visit Rwanda and see how the e-system there is working in the agriculture sector. So we were taken through, and when we reviewed the processes, we also saw how they overcame the problems that we're facing here. So we're excited that they could also come here to launch the project within the tea sector. The importance is that as an industry, we always strive to make the work environment for our workers decent and better. And for the employees, we have always wanted them to